I think what is important to underscore is that the reason why we feel we are at a place, my fellow colleagues and to the public, at the right place to consider these amendments. First of all, they are non-contentious. Secondly, the process of bringing the bill to Parliament using Article 79 will be less costly. Now, in terms of consultation, you, Honourable Mawumba, whether people voted for you or they didn't, the fact that you are the Honourable Member of Mwense, your members need to speak to you to say, Honourable, on these provisions, we agree and we have sent you there as our representative. Vote.
Welcome to Zambia Today Television, where stories unfold. Today, we bring you a major development in the ongoing constitutional debate that has sent shockwaves across the nation. Despite widespread opposition from various stakeholders, the Zambian government insists on moving forward with its proposed constitutional amendments.
Consensus among all Zambians upon which the constitution reform agenda will be anchored.
Justice Minister Princess Kansune made the announcement in Parliament, stating that the government remains committed to amending the constitution to address governance challenges and enhance national development.
Which process, as we all know, is costly and lengthy. In this regard, the government intends to deal with only non-contentious issues. Only so as to address the lacunae or the gaps identified in the Constitution. The identified non-contentious issues shall then be published in the Gazette for 30 days before the introduction of the bill for first reading in the National Assembly.
But this statement was not well received by opposition lawmakers.
Because if it was non-contentious, why did they not respect the report of 2019 from ECZ? So when we say that this is highly contentious, had there been a consultative process, the people would have demanded to know exactly which constituencies were up for delimitation. So it would be folly for anyone, including our own MPs, to accept or agree on this process and later discover that they've been ignored. So we, as opposition members of Parliament, we want to make it categorically clear. We will not be part of that flawed process. That is a non-constitutional constitutional amendment process. That's exactly what has happened. If it was constitutional, it was going to be people-driven. This is a process that is started by the UPND, doctored by the UPND, and concluded by the UPND.
We are witnessing today the darkest day in constitutional making in the country. That you have a group of people calling themselves a political party wanting to bankroll a program of rewriting our constitution. The earlier stories you heard were that people were consulted. Contrary to what they were saying, it is now that the minister was saying people are going to be consulted to garner consensus. By the time they were supposed to have come to the House, they should have had people's participation into the program. So that when they're announcing the program which was being announced today, they would have said the input that came from the people is this and the other. The minister was kind enough to actually mention some groups that were consulted. But it's on record. The press has already reported that those who are consulted have already said they don't want this process to be undertaken. So who are they doing it for? Because if you talk about the church has said no. If you talk about this political party here, we've said no. If you talk about CSOs which are credible, they've all said no. Even some individuals have gone to the press to go and mention that the way the UPND is going about amending this constitution, is incorrect. We should not do it. Others have even pleaded, can we just go to the election using the current constitution, which even ushered in the UPND into power?
Is sinister, or what is hurting is where women are put in the forefront to say because there's a cry for women. If the UPND loved women, the president had the power to nominate 8 members of parliament. How many women did he nominate? The first thing he did when he entered into State House was to squash the Ministry of Gender. So how can you trust an individual who doesn't have an agenda for women to say that is the one who wants to increase the number of women. So you see, sometimes it's very painful. I was looking straight into the eyes of the Justice Minister as she was making the presentation to say, no, women, you are the one. You see, once someone is fronting something in order to get something else, there is need for us Zambians to question. How many cabinet ministers do we have in this cabinet right now?
Ba minister bachilanda kuti balefo okuchita amend article 47 pakuti bachinje icho beto okutira first past the post to proportional representation. Proportional representation ni ile abakuisa ku South Africa bali pokave kala kyalwa maka ya kusala ba MP ama political parties ebapanga ama listi ya kusala chinshi ba MP chire pilibulo kwebati abekala kyalonga balekeresha ba UPND bachinja constitution ni shibala abapoka amaka ya kuchitashani ya kusala ba MP kutira uyu natumutemo na kwato mutimo usuma bakala basalira ba MP kuma political parties bale mbalisti kurusa kairo batuma MP aya kukanchibia batuma MP aya kumonze batuma MP aya kumonze abali kurusaka uyo MP wa musangwe fyo tetyabe loyo kubekala kyalo pantu teba musalire ba MP balero balaba loyo kubekala kyalo no kubatandira pantu eba basala uyo MP wa musangwe fyo kabaloyo kuli bali abapanga ama party list nga mwabalekeresha balete ekibale itokutira proportional representation ni shibachinja electoral system mulimbina kateka wine akalasarwa na parliament abantu fya abana eba kitashani eba musala pantu efo cyaba ku South Africa proportional representation ili aba ku South Africa katekwa asala na ba MP abana bawo bene ba MP abashitalo na bekala cyane
eno wa UPND ilelo waleta ama amendment proposals umuli ga MP umuli ba minister umuli ba council chairperson ba secretary to cabinet mwabana ba attorney general tamuli nangu chimwe cha balanda nangu fye chimo nomba dili abalanda bale chulisha dili abalanda tabalelia dili abalanda bale ya mkulala n'ensala elo obuteko uwakwata amano nangubu yumfo okukwata amano bulela ndati tulechinja olupapulo nga tuwachinja tulefu atufushe ntungulushi shishasha amafumo tulefu atufushe olupia ulwa kuingira mu mafumo ya ntungulushi ilio fwe bantu balanda tulechula ubu buteko kwena bunkalwe ubu buteko muri bankalwe ba UPND mwe bantu na milomba umane emyaka pine shintungulushi shenu shamitemwa ishintungulushi shenu ishakane fya wele pakutila ichichi rupapulo chipita
nishi balefo okufisa mina mukufusha bana mayo mukufusha emisepela nokuleta amadisabled ocho mwishi bati muri ubulwele mwisumina awe elo tu constitution chintu ichikalamba nishi twala chibutusha muri 2 weeks le nanga mwawesha kunuma ba PFO balefo kuchita amend constitution through bill 10 na mwawesha ma process haya aliko kwali NDSS kwa sababu baya kusia vonga ma political parties kwa sababu NDF kwali ama submission ku Minister of Justice yonsa ya ma process ya repeatira ni child taking in umwaka almost 2 years then nishi yala vela 2 weeks. How credible is it? What is the rush? A question not to feel okubepusha ocho vale rushinga chinshi ocho vale fokufisa muri constitution. So mwisumi na mwewe na Zambia pali ubule mapa pali ocho vale fisa nishi balete la kulasira tuli akuma election chinshi chikabire ichile basunka chinshi icha shupa chinshi icha ba emergency because apata pali chili emergency mwewe na Zambia.
What happens next? Opposition parties and civil society groups are mobilizing efforts to challenge the amendments. The nation waits anxiously to see how this political showdown unfolds. That's it for today's update. What are your thoughts on the government's move? Should the amendments go ahead, or should the people's voice take center stage? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on the biggest stories shaping Zambia.
The appetite report mu parliament ilelanga pali threshold ya ma contractors baisana boma yutani bachinja if pitire na bena ba supporter emo bali mukati twaluma bonse pamo pakuleta document